Jeffrey, you want to be successful, don't you? Then how can you continue living like this? Why don't you just reset your brain for success? Adonis. Adonis knows it's up to him to help young Jeffrey. And so day by day, Adonis takes Jeffrey under the wing and shows him the one major thing he needed for success. And it's such a surprise to him. And then there's you. You know, before I really became a YouTuber, I tried to start 6 different businesses. And one of them, even though it's not really a business, I tried to become a rapper. I can't rap, like I'm not even lyrical, but I actually, like I tried. I wrote down like a rap song, like, you know, with the lyrics and stuff, and it was obviously cringe. Another thing that I did was I tried to get into e-commerce, tried to get into agency, social media. Didn't like any of these. Boring as fuck, sending messages to people like you're a fucking like drone bot or something. Then I tried drop shipping and I made a few £100 from drop shipping, which is where like you basically sell like shitty Chinese products on your own website. I tried all of these things and I basically got no success from them. But then when I tried YouTube, that's the thing that led me to success. But it wasn't just the business model, because if you try YouTube, you might not be able to get the success in this. It was something else that I did around the same time that I got into YouTube. And if I did this thing with any of those previous business models, I would have actually gotten success in those as well. The secret to resetting your brain for success is to absorb the wisdom of the men who have the success that you want. You see, when you take action in the world and you try a business model, or you go to the gym and you try to exercise and you hit the workout, that's you kind of like cashing out your current education, your current intelligence, your current experience. The issue is that if you're a young guy watching this, you don't have much of those things. You don't have much wisdom and experience in business. And so if you're trying some random business right now and you're actually trying to do the work, like everyone online tells you, take action, take action, take action. Taking action is one of the stupidest things that so many like little red pill self-improvement guys say. And I know this sounds weird. You're thinking, wait, but it is good though to take action, right? I'm telling you the exact opposite. People these days are not actually consuming enough great quality education, because when you take action, you're rinsing out what you currently have, your current capabilities, but your current capabilities are probably too low. What you need to do is level up your skill first. And that doesn't just come from blindly taking action and trying to figure out this entire thing from scratch. It comes specifically from learning from someone who's already done it. And still right now, I know that little self-improvement, finance, productivity, businessmen are going to disagree with me. Just imagine this scenario right now, this experiment, right? We take 2 guys who have never been to the gym before. They don't know anything about the gym, right? One guy, we send him into a room with all this gym stuff and we tell him, take action. What's he going to do? He looks at the barbell. He's never seen anything, right? So he grabs it. He's like, well, okay, then he's like doing this shit. You know, we tell him, okay, yeah, go on, make muscle, get stronger. And he doesn't even understand what to do with the fucking barbell. Now, after maybe in like 20 minutes, half an hour, that's when he realizes he can put the weight onto the barbell. Remember, okay, he's seen nothing of it right now, right? He has no capabilities, but he's just figuring it out because he's taking action like a good self-improvement boy. It takes him hours to learn how to even set up the barbell, never mind the bench press. And it takes him months to even understand like how to like progressively overload or anything like that. Imagine the second man. We send him into the same room, but this time there's a personal trainer in there. The personal trainer, you know, is casually talking to him whilst racking the barbell. And inside of this guy's mind, it's like, oh, okay, so that's how the barbell works. You get the weight and then you stick it onto that side. Okay, we use these clips to make sure the weight doesn't fall off. Okay, personal trainer told me to hit this movement. Okay, oh, yeah, it hurts. Okay, it feels good. Okay, whatever. In one session, that second guy would have made more progress than literally 3 to 6 months of the other guy who just took action. Now, this is an extreme example because this is literally assuming that someone absolutely knows zero about the gym, like literally doesn't even understand the concept of like putting weights onto a barbell. That's an extreme example, but this isn't as different as it is for so many young guys. In the business model that you're trying to get into, or the way that you're trying to like navigate your love life with a woman, it's only when you've learned from other men who have had the success that you have wanted. So it sounds absurd what I'm saying, but maybe you should consider finding a mentor, learning more, reading great books, watching great videos, not like little clickbait 10 steps to $10,000 a month, those kinds of videos that like YouTubers use just to get views. And then when you do that, every action that you take is going to be with this heightened capability, this next level of skill. So there's this big entrepreneur right now, Alex Hormozi. And he says that if you want to learn how to get into sales, just do cold calls. Don't like think about it, just take action. Now, certainly that's good to get people to like, stop procrastinating and whatever. But the guy who reads the book on sales calls whilst he's taking the calls will undeniably destroy the guy who's just randomly taking the calls, feeling awkward and not even like really figuring out how to get better. Never mind the guy then who just gets a mentor and who teaches him how to take the sales calls. So it sounds awesome, me telling you, just get into the gym, just upload the YouTube video. That's still awesome. You're still going to make progress from that because you probably still have some kind of idea of like how to do it, right? So if you watch these YouTube videos, if you made a YouTube video today, you wouldn't be starting with zero knowledge because you'd, in some ways, without realizing it, you'd be emulating me and anyone else you watch. So your capabilities, your skill wouldn't be zero. But if I then sat with you whilst you were recording and I gave you a bunch of tips and feedback, your first video that you'd produce would be better than someone else's like 100th video. The way that I was able to reset my brain for success, I started reading a fuck ton of books. I still remember it. In May 2020, so 3 years ago, I moved back home to my parents' house and I went on this like big like self-improvement era, this like chapter of my life that I'm really going to be on self-improvements. And I got into reading and I really started to enjoy it because I would make it really fun. Like I would, do it after like a workout. So I was kind of like tired and, wanted to sit down and stay still for a bit. Grab the book and I'd make some tea and I'd get like a little bit of like dark chocolate or some kind of treat that felt nice. And I'd play like some nice like lo-fi music or something. And it'd be like a really fun session. Like I'd literally be smiling whilst doing it. And it made me literally love the process of reading and learning. And then when I would read these books and absorb that knowledge, then when I would take action on whatever my goals were, it was like the action that I was taking just kept on getting better and better and better. I wasn't shooting in the dark and, just trying to get better as like a YouTuber and just by making videos. I wasn't just like randomly going to the gym hoping to make muscle. I was leveling up my skill and learning to do those actions even better every single day. You know why reading reset my brain and it'll do the same thing for you? Because when you read, you're basically brainwashing yourself with this successful person's beliefs instead of your own. You see, the reason why you're broke is because you have like a broke person's beliefs. When you have the beliefs and the skill set of a rich person, you just automatically get rich. It's like whatever you have in life, resources, money, women, subscribers, all of like random things that can come in and out of your life. It's all just based on like what's your skill set like and what's your beliefs like the words in your brain. It's all just that. And the issue is that when you're a young guy, those words in your brain and the skills that you can have, they're not really highly leveled. That's why you stay broke. That's why many, many guys, they basically stay broke their entire lives because they never educate themselves. The guy who goes on to make a fuck ton more money than everyone else in his age is the one who simply just learned more than them on the profitable skills that was needed to make that money. So what I'm saying is when you're reading a book like from some productivity experts, it's basically him brainwashing you to believe the same things that he has believed that got him to that point, which is amazing. That's like such an amazing thing. That's so powerful. That's why the guy who really educates himself ends up getting so different from everyone else. And you know this, right? This is exactly what happened to you. You started watching videos like this. You started watching my videos and my own beliefs, my own attitude to life, my own skills has now been like brainwashing you. And you've seen that you're leveling up so much faster, infinitely faster than everyone else. Everyone else seems to be getting down and down and down, worse and worse and worse. And here you are getting better. One of the biggest reasons, like this isn't me taking credit for it because you're the one who's like taking action to really use this in your like real life, but it starts with the source of knowledge. Don't underestimate knowledge just because these days there's like this negative attitude to information and content. Like so many people these days think that content and watching YouTube videos and reading is all bad and you should just take action. It's kind of like a pendulum where people just used to take action. Now people just consume information. But the truth is, the person who's the most successful is usually right in the middle. If I'm actually honest, right, the people who are making a fuck ton of money and who are currently like rapidly growing in their skill set, they actually only seem to work on their craft for like 3 to 4 hours a day. Like some of the greatest athletes that you'll see, they'll work out like once or twice a day. And the rest of their time, they're basically like learning about their craft. The greatest YouTubers that I know, they spend hours a day reading and watching YouTube videos and taking basically every course that's available on YouTube, but they only sit down and record for like 60 minutes a week. So what's interesting is, to the brokies and to the peasants, all of the guys that you see on camera, they're all telling you like, take action, bro. Oh, take action. You've got to take action, bro. Because this is what gets views. If I make a video telling you you've just got to take action, I'll get more views. But if I'm being honest to you, I don't actually know that many guys who just take action. All the successful guys I know do a fuck ton of reading, and they also watch podcasts. You know, I'm being totally fucking honest. All of the successful guys I know don't actually watch normal videos like this, like 10-minute short videos. But at the same time, all the successful guys I know, they're all in their late 20s and 30s. This kind of content is great for like 15-year-olds, 18-year-olds. I would have loved this kind of 10-15-minute video if I was like 18 years old whilst I was eating, to kind of get that little bit of education that I needed, because I didn't have the attention span for like a full podcast back then. But if I'm being honest, the most, like the highest tier men that I know, they basically only consume full-length podcasts, and they also read, and they do those too basically every day. They don't do any cringe goal that young guys do. So they don't say to themselves like, I'm going to read a book a week. They never really say that type of stuff. It seems that on average they read a book about every 2 weeks, but it's not like a cringe self-improvement goal. It's just like how much they've ended up reading. I'm about the same. I'd say a book every 2 weeks or so, on and off. Yeah, I'd say I'll probably read about 30 books a year, and sometimes I'll go through a book in literally like 3 days, and other times I won't read for like a couple of weeks. But I really notice those times when I don't read. When you're consuming the content or the book of someone who has the result that you want, so for example, if you want 2 million subscribers and you listen to my videos, you're just shortcutting the process. It took me 3 years to learn, like to make my brain capable enough to get to 2 million subscribers. But I had to do a lot of that through trial and error. These days, you can get to success so much faster than you could have years ago, because it's kind of like the nature of how wisdom and knowledge works, right? It's like if it took, let's say, the first ever guy to get into the gym, took him 10 years to learn, literally just think off like the squat, the bench press, and the deadlift, for example. He teaches it to this other guy who's just started, and the second guy learns it all in like 3 months. And nowadays, a beginner, or let's say, even a beginner who's went to the gym 10 times can have like a pretty good form for the squat, bench press, and deadlift. We're able to just synthesize knowledge so much faster. What this means is, if it took me 3 years to get to 2 million subscribers and you learn from my message, you could maybe get here in like 2. And then when you start teaching people how to grow on social media and how to have like a purposeful business which helps other people through education, maybe they could get it in like 1 year. I'm sure I would have gotten more views in this video if I told you something clickbait, like you can download these extensions, and I just did a couple of easy habits. I meditated for 5 minutes, and those things are awesome. Having some extension that blocks out like YouTube or whatever distractions you have, that can be nice. Meditating is absolutely crucial. But if I'm just going to be totally honest to you, I just read books for like an hour or 2 hours a day. And in fact, this reminds me of a memory. When I was at İçin, so in 2022, I went to Dubai and I stayed with İçin Gaji for a few days. And I had known of his story before this. I had known that he used to read a book a week. Through those years that he started leveling up a lot. And when I was around his, I didn't I wasn't doing this to impress him or anything, but I was like reading as much as because I really liked to read it, like even more back then. And so anytime he was like a little bit busy, because he was still in his like work mode whilst I was there for a few days. So if he was a little bit busy, I'd just be sat on the couch or something reading. And he mentioned it once like at dinner, and he said like, oh, you're always reading. That's like really good for you. And I still remember that because it was kind of like a half compliment. You know what I mean? He just observed that I was always reading. But it actually meant a lot to me because instantly it clicked. And I saw like, here's a guy who's ultra successful. And he's mentioned that one of the things he did in those formative years when he became successful was read a book a week. And he kind of noticed me doing that. It just something just like warmed my heart, like, in this moment. And I came back and like, I remember telling a few of my friends, and I remember this exact moment. I came back and started gifting books to friends. And so I went on Amazon and started buying like a bunch of books that I, changed my life. And I gave them out to like friends in the gym. And there was one book that got me in shit. And that book's title was The Way of the Superior Man. I bought multiple copies of that book because it really helped me, and you might have heard me talk about it so much. The book arrives from Amazon and I see, okay, I've got 3 copies. Who am I gonna give it to? The next morning I wake up, I'm ready to go to the gym. My friend's actually outside, so he picks me up for the gym and we go together. And when I get into his car, I pass him the book and say, I got a gift for you. And he's like, proper warm. Oh my God, you didn't have to do that. That's proper nice. Oh, this is so cool. Awesome. We go on here, gym workout, whatever. And I actually bring another book and I give it to another friend inside the gym. No problem, right? I go away for a week. And when I come back, things are just different. None of the same group of people will speak to me anymore. They're all not replying to my text messages, which is weird because we're like best friends. We're like really good friends. I've seen the same people every single day for like a year straight, and we've lifted weights together. We've went on trips and hikes, and we just went to Amsterdam. Like, we had holidays together, and now they're not replying to me. It's strange, but whatever. Okay, I'm just hitting my workout. And eventually my best friend texts me, and it's a massive text which starts with, Hamza, I don't think that men are superior to women. And basically this and this and this and this and this. And he doesn't, like, he feels awkward about it, whatever. Turns out he's been talking to my ex-girlfriend. This is a whole separate point anyway, but you may as well tell you the story. But yeah, turns out he's been like talking to my ex-girlfriend and becoming friends with her. I'm pretty sure they didn't do anything, but whatever. But basically, I gave a book that changed my life, that may have changed your life if you've read it, The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. And normies who don't understand like masculine, feminine energy, they thought it was like a misogynist book without even reading it. They saw the title and it said The Way of the Superior Man. And instantly, because they're such like pussies looking out for something to be offended at, they instantly saw the title and said, okay, so this means that the author thinks that men are superior to women, and this means that Hamza thinks that as well. Instead of just reading the fucking back of the book, which shows that this is the way to become like loving towards your woman, and that love is like what the most important thing you could have in life. This is, I don't know, it was a side story I just felt like telling, but books can have a major impact on people. It can be negative for some imbeciles, but it can also be very positive if you have like an open mind to reading great quality books. And so I'll always keep recommending the same book, because if you've got over double-digit IQ and you actually read it, you'll realize it's a very good like guidebook to life for men. And that is one of the major books that has reset my brain for success. Not in the Andrew Tate, Iman Gaji, money kind of success, but in like the wholesome, masculine, now I can actually hold down like a healthy relationship, which feels awesome, that kind of success. In terms of books that have helped me make money and, like monetary success, you can just search this on YouTube. So there's a video I made on my second channel, and if you just search up like Hamza, every book that I've read, I went over like 100 books or whatever, like 50 books that like really actually helped me. And it's a separate video that you can just go search for. One final tip I'll give you that has really helped me to like improve my brain is actually asking deep questions. I've realized like the value of what I call deep journaling, which is like you ask yourself a really deep question or multiple deep questions, answer the question, and you get to know more about yourself, and you get ideas of new things that you should implement in your life. And so I've made a little email thing below this, which is like 7 questions that will change your life. So if you go click on that, go through the thing, you'll get sent like this Notion document with a bunch of training videos, everything. You might be interested in that, because that also will help you on this journey of like self-discovery, becoming a man who's capable of achieving success. Click and watch this video right now. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.